The lightweight division is at a crossroads, and the UFC's next moves could shape the future of the entire division. With Islam Makhachev's indecision over his title defense, Ilia Topuria's bold move to 155 pounds, and Charles Oliveira hungry for a rematch, the stakes are higher than ever. Will Makhachev vacate his belt, or will the UFC create an interim champion to keep the division alive? The clock is ticking, and the fighters waiting in the wings are ready to step up. Who will seize control of the lightweight crown? Diego Lima, the head coach of former UFC Lightweight Champion Charles Oliveira, has expressed growing frustration over the uncertainty surrounding Islam Makhachev's future. Lima strongly believes that if Makhachev chooses to move up to welterweight to pursue another title, he must vacate his lightweight belt or the UFC should establish an interim champion. Lima argues that the lightweight division cannot afford to be held in limbo while Makhachev contemplates his next move. According to Lima, fighters work tirelessly to earn their shot at the title, and having a champion who is undecided about defending their title disrupts the competitive integrity of the division. If Makhachev transitions to welterweight without relinquishing the lightweight belt, it would be unfair to active fighters who are vying for the title. Lima stresses that the UFC needs to make a decision, either force Makhachev to vacate the lightweight title if he pursues welterweight, or create an interim lightweight title to keep the division moving forward. This call for clarity echoes broader concerns within the sport about champions who hold up divisions due to indecision or multiple weight class ambitions, and Lima's frustration is amplified by the fact that Oliveira, along with other top contenders like Justin Gaethje, are waiting for a fair opportunity to fight for the title. Diego Lima has acknowledged that a fight between Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria would be more marketable and exciting for the UFC audience than a rematch with Islam Makhachev. While Oliveira's primary goal is to reclaim the lightweight title, Lima admits that Topuria, with his strong self-promotion and recent success in the UFC, is a better-selling fight at this moment. Ilia Topuria, who recently vacated his featherweight title, has created a buzz in the UFC by decisively moving up to lightweight. His undefeated record 16-0 MMA 8-0 UFC and his compelling personality have made him one of the most talked-about fighters in the sport. Lima notes that Topuria has done an excellent job of promoting himself as a threat in the lightweight division, which adds a layer of intrigue and excitement for fans. This contrasts with Makhachev, who has been somewhat less visible lately due to his hesitation and mixed messages about his future, sometimes hinting at a potential move to welterweight or discussing fights with other contenders, such as Justin Gaethje and Topuria himself. Lima believes that while Oliveira's desire to fight for the lightweight title remains unchanged, a bout against Topuria would create a bigger spectacle, especially if it's for the title. The intense rivalry between Oliveira and Topuria, fueled by recent verbal exchanges, adds fuel to the fire. A fight between these two would bring more attention, not only because of Topuria's undefeated record but also because of the tension between them. Lima's perspective suggests that UFC fans are more likely to be drawn to Topuria's potential to disrupt the lightweight division, making it a more lucrative fight in terms of fan engagement and ticket sales. Don't miss out on the latest UFC news. If you want to stay updated on all things MMA, hit that subscribe button now. The ongoing indecision by Islam Makhachev about his next steps is causing significant frustration within the UFC's lightweight division, particularly for Charles Oliveira and his camp. Diego Lima, Oliveira's coach, has expressed his dissatisfaction with Makhachev's apparent uncertainty over whether he plans to defend his lightweight title or move up to welterweight for a potential second championship. This hesitation is seen as disruptive as it leaves the division in a state of flux, preventing other fighters from securing their own title opportunities. Makhachev, who holds the UFC lightweight title, has been unclear about his future plans. Initially, there were talks of a potential superfight with Ilia Topuria, who recently vacated the featherweight title and moved to lightweight. However, more recently Makhachev's camp, led by his coach and mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov, has indicated that Makhachev is waiting to see the outcome of the welterweight title fight between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315. If Muhammad loses, it's speculated that Makhachev could move up to welterweight and challenge Della Maddalena. This situation has created confusion and frustration, especially for Oliveira, who has been preparing for a potential rematch with Makhachev ever since their first fight at UFC 280, where Oliveira lost his title via submission. Oliveira was supposed to face Makhachev again at UFC 294 in October 2023, but Oliveira had to pull out, leading to Alexander Volkanovski stepping in as a replacement. Lima emphasizes that this indecision is detrimental not only to Oliveira's title ambitions but also to the entire lightweight division, where other top contenders like Justin Gaethje are waiting for their shot. Fighters are training hard, working their way through the rankings, and earning their opportunity to challenge for the title. When a champion is unsure about defending their belt or moving up in weight, it puts the division on hold, making it harder for others to progress and fight for what they've worked toward. Lima's frustration is palpable, as he believes that champions should not sit on their belts while other fighters are left in limbo. The need for clarity is urgent, and Lima makes it clear that if Makhachev moves up to welterweight, it's time for the UFC to either force him to vacate the lightweight belt or create an interim title to ensure the division remains competitive. The lightweight division has been left in a state of uncertainty due to the various potential moves being considered by top fighters, especially Islam Makhachev, and the recent decisions made by Ilia Topuria. This state of limbo is not only frustrating for the fighters but also for the fans, who are eager to see how the division evolves and who will ultimately challenge for the lightweight title. Diego Lima, Charles Oliveira's coach, has pointed out the need for clarity to avoid the division being held hostage by indecision. Islam Makhachev, the current champion, is considering a move up to welterweight to challenge for a second title, a move that has already led to speculation about whether he will vacate his lightweight belt or if an interim champion will be crowned in his absence. Makhachev's indecision about when and against whom he will next defend his title has caused a ripple effect in the lightweight rankings. The longer Makhachev remains uncertain about his next fight, the more fighters like Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, and other top contenders are kept in limbo, unable to plan their next steps for a shot at the belt. Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria's decision to vacate his featherweight title and move to lightweight has further added to the uncertainty. Topuria, an undefeated fighter with an exciting fighting style, is seen as a legitimate threat in the lightweight division. His arrival has added another potential challenger to the mix, but Lima suggests that Topuria's move might have been rushed without sufficient negotiations with the UFC. Topuria's desire to challenge for the lightweight title could be complicated if Makhachev remains the champion and is either inactive or moving up in weight. With Topuria's move and the uncertainty surrounding Makhachev, it's clear that the lightweight division is in a holding pattern waiting for decisions to be made. Lima stresses that fighters shouldn't be expected to wait indefinitely for champions to make up their minds. The lightweight division needs to move forward, either by having Makhachev defend his title or by creating an interim champion. Holding up the division due to a champion's indecision risks frustrating fighters who have earned their place and delaying exciting matchups that fans are eager to see. The UFC needs to make a decision quickly to restore momentum to the division and ensure that it remains one of the most competitive and exciting in the sport. Whether that means forcing Makhachev to vacate the title or organizing a fight for the interim belt, the division's future depends on action. What do you think will happen to the UFC lightweight division? Will Makhachev stay, or will Topuria and Oliveira take over? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and make sure to subscribe to MMA Thread for more in-depth UFC analysis and news.